One, two, three, go. All right, we're recording. So,
All right.
hello and good morning, Patrick. Or, good evening. How we doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. DJ, how are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad. It's a beautiful July 11th, and we got some beautiful sunny weather here. It looks like we've gotten a lot done this week, Pat. You want to talk to me about that?
Sure. So we had two major things that we, completed this week.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was our audit. So we completed our PeckShield audit for the Auto Diversify vault. That took like a month, of back and forth with PeckShield. But we got that report done, and we're still in development for that in terms of getting the contracts linked up with the UI, and for that we expect that to be done this week.
Mm.
The second thing we did, which was perhaps a surprise to a lot of people, is we launched the Rabbit Compound vault, which is a typical auto compounding vault, which compounds Rabbit's lending pool.
And this is
What it
not
does
a
is basically
fork. This is not a fork of Compound, correct?
no. It's just, I mean, we just called it compound because what it does, it's compounding.
Correct.
And that's a good question. Because I mean, we could call it auto compound, and then you'd be confused, or you might ask, well, is this auto farm? So it's a tricky thing, naming products. But we'll just call these typical auto compounding vaults just compound, and just put the platform names in front. So in this case, it would be Rabbit Compound.
Yep.
For this vault, and so we launched that yesterday. And the funny thing is, while we were developing, Rabbit's tokens price was going through the roof, and the APY, and the APY would have been 50% where we to complete
50% on
at that
stable
point.
coins? That's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
mean, it's well, the way that these APYs work is you really get, I don't know, maybe a percent or two on the lending itself, but the rest you really get on compounding their platform rewards.
Exactly.
And yeah, so their token price fell a bit, so we're back down to like 27, but still,
I mean,
let's see.
hey, that's a lot better than Coinbase's USDC 6%, I think, APY.
Oh yeah, sure. And the great thing is, once we get, and that's what we're planning to do over this week, once we get all the other target vaults, completed, and it's not a lot of it's a lot of work for Jimmy, but it's not a lot of changes, right? Because it's just the same contract. We're just changing where we're targeting, but then we'll have auto, we'll have bunny, and we'll have all that. And the great thing is you can sort of select where you want to invest. If you prefer a platform, you could choose that platform. If you prefer the highest APY, for instance, then you can do all that within our feeder finance platform.
Just having it all under one roof, making it nice and easy
Yep,
for you guys.
exactly. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Now, how about this backlog I'm looking at here? It looks like we finally took a look at our Discord Team Progress channel. Seems like we haven't touched on it in a bit, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we have these internal working item management, which we use Monday for.
Yep.
We have to keep up to date with that for our internal use, and then I have what I started when 3 months ago or 2.5 months ago. I started using Team Progress on Discord to keep track, and then we started having daily these daily updates, and then I had to update that daily as well, and so it's becoming a lot of work
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're doing the same thing I have to do it 3 times a day. um and now I think I might retire. I would retire part of that team's progress on Discord.
Yep.
But still, there are a lot of good links in there that over these past 2.5 months I kept those recorded. So I might just keep part of it, and anything that's still relevant in terms of if we wanted, I might rename it, whatever. So I'll still have to think about that. But
Mm.
in for this new sort of format for this daily report. It's going to be once every 2 days, so you'll have it Wednesday, Friday, and then on Sunday for like this whole weekly update.
Yep.
And I'll keep track of all these things here as well, so you'll see like what we've done, what we're going to do, and what are the things that are not too much of a priority. Like we're not going to do it now, but we know we have to do it at some point. So we'll have that in our by daily and weekly update.
Yeah, so we're going to be shifting the daily update. That's going to be honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's actually going to be kind of nice, because then the daily updates will kind of hit a little harder, There'll be more...
True, that's true. Yeah.
There'll be more to them, I'd say, because I felt like a lot of our daily updates, like especially... Oh, sorry, the dogs are going off. There's someone outside.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be really good changing to this format. I think we're going to have a lot more time for us as the team to be able to work on some of this to-do list and stuff, and really show more progress over 2 days as opposed to daily progress. I think it's very easy to miss something one day in a daily update, but with less of them, it actually should do more, I would think.
That's true. And the other thing is, after our launch, and once we have all these little detailing of the UI done, most of the work we'll be doing is development, and a lot of time it takes about 1.5 or 2 days to finish, like let's say a vault.
Yep.
And so you'd have that gap where, I wouldn't have anything to update, right? And so it would be, I don't know, it would be fortunate to, release an update and where there's nothing there, right? Because we're working, but it's, not done, right? So
exactly.
So if you reduce that frequency, it's a lot better. So we have actual progress, completed, work to update, and so that's also why we changed that frequency as well.
Changing the weekly update format's going to be pretty fun too. I can't wait to have more of these conversations with you, Pat. Hopefully we can get some community members in here too, maybe one of these days.
Yeah, that would be fun. And we could actually have it live. I know a lot of AMAs do that, right, in text form, but if we can do it live and open up the chat so people can ask us questions, or if they have any comments and thoughts, that would be fun. So it's a lot more engaging.
Oh my God! Actually, that sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to do something like that. Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, me too.
We'll have to take a look this week. Set up a Feeder Finance Twitch, maybe a YouTube account. We already have a YouTube, but we can stream directly to these platforms, and I think that would be a really great way for us to be able to get some more engagement from our community. I think this week we might want to put some sort of space where people can ask us questions for these AMAs, So we'll have it at the end of the week. We'll scrounge all these questions together and, put them all in. And I'll sit down with you and ask you a couple. Get your thoughts on them, Get the word straight from the horse's mouth, people.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Cool. So, the last thing we have, it looks like just more community support. Do you want to go over real quick some of these things that we're trying to achieve on 8board, Zerion, CoinSniper, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So we've tried to less than Zerion for like a while. I think, maybe 2 months now.
And what's been holding us up on that front?
So I think we have like 60 upvotes, but they still haven't, included us or into. So they have like these 3 levels or 2 levels where you submit, and then once you get enough upvotes, they start to put you in that next level of bucket where they'll start to include you in their platform.
Okay.
And we've sort of contacted them after we reached 45 or 40, and they said they'll look into it, and then they just went silent. So I don't know if we haven't gotten enough upvotes, because there are projects that have 300, 400 upvotes, and those guys might obviously be priority. But we'll just keep it here, right? And if we have more people engaging with the community and want to help us, then we'll just slowly increase that upvote. And just the same thing for 8board. They do pretty much the same thing. And for Coin Sniper, that was recommended by, actually all of these are recommended by the community. And through the good thing is through listing at Coin Sniper, I had like 20 DMs coming from all these guys want to, make some money and, boost those upvotes. So we pay, I don't know, $100 and they'll get us that 500 upvote. But the good thing is they also send us a list of all these listing sites.
Yep.
And so my take is once we're done with all these development work, over this week, we might as well just list our project in all of them. And and get the community to help upvote. I haven't decided whether we will or we should pay for those things because it's really easy to detect, right? When these guys use bots to increase those upvotes. So I prefer we leave it to the community to support that and help give us those upvotes and stars, and we'll see from there how it goes.
Is there a possibility we could get some of these under the community quests? I think that may help gain some traction, or at least make them a little more obvious to people that aren't constantly watching our daily updates. I mean, I know we post it constantly in the Twitter and stuff too, and on Telegram, but I don't know. It might be an option for us,
I think that's a good point. What that would mean is we'd probably have to use APIs to link our current status as to how many upvotes we already have and how many we need into the website. So that's an additional work for Jimmy. And
yeah, he's already got
it's still a good idea. Yeah. So I'll put that in our Monday and maybe in this log that we keep as well. So we have that in our lower priority to-do list, but it's a good suggestion. I like it.
Oh, cool. So Patrick, before we go, I'd have one more question I'd like to ask you. What do you see happening for Feeder Finance in the coming week?
That's a good question. So we completed some, last week we completed some of the UI fixes and all these recommendations, and we'll continue to do that.
Yep.
We have a couple of good, a lot of good recommendations and detections of bugs. On the DApp front, we have, we'll show the TVL of the target platform. Obviously, like Rapid Finance, for instance, their lending pools, they have hundreds, in some of them hundreds of millions in TVL.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll show that, because their platform is like 1.2 billion TVL, and that they got that over like a week.
Oh my God.
It's pretty amazing how they did that.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of VCs backing them, I think, based on their website.
Right. Okay.
So what I think that's a really good information to have. What I think is because when what we're trying to do is we're trying to aggregate data, right? So we're trying to aggregate APYs and TBLs and all that data, and we'll have more down the road. But for now, it's a lot easier for people to pick which platform or make that investment decision,
right,
based on looking at these 5 or 6 platforms that we include, and looking at their TBLs and APYs and see, okay, this guy has 100 mil and his APY is 30%, while the other one might have 500 and less APY, and so you make that decision, right? How much you trust one over the other.
Right.
And so we're just trying to give as many info as possible for you to make that decision. And that sort of leads me to another thought about, our Auto Diversify product that's coming up, which is that product is trying to take that decision away from you and automating that, right? So ultimately, we'll slowly add more target vaults into the Auto Diversify, and at its final stages, it'll have all the target vaults within one vault, right? So you're just depositing in Auto Diversify, and you'll be in all of them, and rebalancing automatically and waiting automatically. So it's up to you, right? Which one you prefer? Would you prefer to select yourself, or do you want to use Auto Diversify to make that decision for you? So the other updates are just information regarding the target platform, some tweaks to the description,
Mm-hmm.
some improvements. We actually did one of those already. So Jimmy already included Certic and PeckShield logo into the tab.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a lot of updates to the portfolio page. We already completed real-time block data update. So now if you keep that page open, it's going to update automatically by the block
Oh my God.
in terms of data.
That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
that's good. Yep, indeed, that's good. So that's on the DApp front. On the core product side, so you'll notice we have a lot of target vaults upcoming
Mm-hmm.
or coming soon per the website. Those we expect all of them to be done by next week. So
Oh wow.
Auto Diversify will be done. We have what do we have? We have Auto, Bunny, Doppel, I think, upcoming, and all of them will be done. So there are lots. I think that what is it, 50, 60 vaults coming next week. So there's a lot of vaults coming up
Yeah. So last
for
week we
next week.
released one. Next week we'll release 60. Sounds good.
Well, technically, technically, Rabbit Finance, we have can't remember. I think 5
Yeah, it's 4 or 5.
or 4 deposit tokens, right? So that's technically 4 vaults, right? Because they're
Right.
all different smart contracts. And now each deposit token will have 4 or 5 platforms, and we'll release all of them, right? So you multiply, 5 by 4 or 4 by whatever. So you get
Right.
40 or 50, I don't know. And the reason it's exponential really is Auto Diversify itself has a lot of vaults within it too.
Yep.
Because one Auto Diversify vault has 5 different target vaults within it. So it's let's just say it's a lot of vaults coming up for next week. And on the marketing front, we're thinking about, so instead of we're unsure about how effective shilling is in general.
Right.
Just because it's super crowded, right? And especially when the market is not doing too well, that risk appetite is not, super high. And so, what we're trying to do for next week is to create that daily infographics about, our platform. So we'll have a bunch of these vaults, and each of them will have different APYs, right? And we want to sort of use that as marketing material. So it tells people that uniqueness in our platform where you have all of it here in one place. And that can be shared, and that will be posted on Twitter. And we'll have that template done so we can update it daily. We'll also, create, banners or whatever that will be needed, and we'll share it inside this, an asset. So asset being those media files.
Yep.
We're still unsure where we want to do it. It might be Discord, it might be some other platforms. We'll have it saved in one place where everybody can access it. And if somebody needs some media to promote or shill or wherever, they'll have access to that.
Well, that's awesome. I think it's definitely going to be nice, kind of like the meme channel where we have a place for community members to grab posts for their social media. It'll be nice to have a place where people can grab assets for, more marketing type of posts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Well, Pat, do we have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I haven't thought about that, but let's just I would say, it's been a really, and since this is our first, public sort of discussion, I just want to thank everybody for, sticking around for the past 2.5 months. It's been wild, right, with the market crash and everything. So appreciate everybody for sticking around and trusting us, seeing us through into building this. And we're at at this inflection point where we've launched the product, and a lot of more products are coming up, and so stay tuned for that, and let us know if you have any thoughts or suggestions or comments. We always welcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say at the end of every weekly, guys, we really can't do this without you. We appreciate every single one of your support, suggestions, comments, you know, we take all of it in stride, and we really do try and listen to you guys. So please keep them coming. Hit us up either via DM, suggestions channel, in our Telegrams or Discord. We're always listening. And on that end, I'd like to say, stay hungry, feeders, and remember, diversify.
All right. Thanks, guys. And thank you, DJ.
Not a problem. You have a great one, Pat.
You too.